Well, I survived. I survived the emotional roller coaster that was 2025. How about you? Please let me know in the comments how your 2025 went. I would love to know because for me, and I think for like most people in my life, 2025 was quite a challenging year, both in business, in personal. I don't know if something was in the water or what, but in today's episode, I want to walk you through my 2025, the new things that I tried in business, the things that didn't work anymore, some of the personal things that I was going through that impacted business, and of course, the lessons that I learned. Because I think honestly, like the challenging years, the roadblocks, the hard things are what we learn the most from, right? And probably makes for the most interesting and helpful content. So, yeah, buckle up. My top revenue stream this year was partnerships, which is a little surprising. This is the first year, I think, ever in business that partnerships, brand deals, took that top slot. They were 44% of my revenue, give or take. None of these numbers are final. I'm recording this in December. So, give or take, the projection is they'll be about almost half of my revenue for the year, which is wild. In some ways, I'm like a little maybe disappointed or upset with myself for like not doing better in the other categories. But on the other hand, I also am like, all right, I've made it. Like I am making over six figures just from brand deals, just from content creation alone. I am a creator. Like I think sometimes I have this imposter syndrome somewhat of like, yeah, but I'm a business owner who has a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer, quote unquote. But like, I mean, I don't know, like paying my whole mortgage with brand deal money, I think means you're doing this professionally. And um, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that I did differently in that category. One thing that I did is I actually got rid of my management. I was working with a manager who I loved my individual manager, like the person, but I think the company, the agency that I was with didn't understand my niche, didn't understand like how to sell me because, I can't really compete on numbers that much. Yes, I think I have a large community. To me, 200,000 people is a lot, but like in the influencer, creator economy, it's not that much. So you really have to sell me a little bit differently. And I should note with that said, like included in partnerships, included in that number are speaking gigs. And I think that's the trick when you are an educator, a thought leader, for lack of better words. Like you can't do brand deals the same way that a lifestyle creator does brand deals, or you can't rely on them to make up, six figures worth of income. You've got to leverage your thought leadership. You've got to leverage your ability to educate and to teach and to speak and all of that. So yeah. Second was courses at 34% of revenue. So I think this was down from last year. Courses were down. This was a down course year. And this is something that I've heard industry-wide from people. But I also think there are some things that, like I said, we're gonna learn because the theme of this episode, I was lazy this year. I'm just gonna be honest. It was a very lazy year. And I don't even say that negatively. I think it needed to be a lazy year. It needed to be like kind of like a slight sabbatical year. I was lazy. Like I don't think I released any new courses. Actually, I did. The YouTube Creator Accelerator, we'll talk about that at the end when we go through month by month. But I did release one new course, but that didn't come till later in the year. And even that, I did like a baby launch for it. It was really like a beta, didn't make a lot of noise about it. And then I didn't run any ads. I didn't really promote anything. Like pretty much those course sales are all like evergreen, more or less. Even for the cohorts that I had, I did like baby launches for them. I did like an email blast saying, hey, like we're opening the doors. I didn't do the traditional big launch, which was a mistake, obviously, or not. I don't know. Maybe I just needed a slower year, but I was just lazy with my marketing. Affiliate income was 13% of my revenue, which is cool because I think that number is up or at least around what it was last year. And it's something that I said I wanted to leverage more. And, affiliate income is so helpful because it is truly like passive. I mean, I'm not actively being like, hey guys, sign up for Honeybooks, sign up for this, sign up for that. Like, I don't know. I just mention it when it naturally comes up, either to my coaching clients, to my course students, in my videos, whatever. And, it resulted in a good amount of income. I mean, honestly, like a full-time job, a lower salary, but like a full-time job's worth of income. So don't sleep on affiliate income. I actually went to New York this year. That was one of my travels. And I went to Google, their office. They had a Shop Social Summit. I think they have them like once a month in New York and LA. And I learned a lot about affiliate income. And there are people, YouTubers, who are making 7 figures from affiliate income only on YouTube. It's wild. So I am always feeling like so inspired to do more affiliate stuff. And then the rest, the last like 9 to 10% was a mix of YouTube, AdSense, services, so done for you projects, and coaching, which is a very, very small number. I'll give you the full YouTube number because I did this last year. I shared what YouTube paid me. And what did it pay me last year? I'm going to cry because it's going to be such a drastic disparity. Yeah. Whew. Last year was sad enough for me at 22,492. I made about 10 grand less on YouTube this year. Around 13,000 will be the final number. And again, never want to complain, right? Like I get it. Like for people who, are making nothing from YouTube, they're like, Latasha, are you serious? You're complaining about 13 grand, but like, it's not a lot, So I always, 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 always am going to remind you guys to diversify your income. Like if I can teach you anything, it's that. If I relied on any one of these things on their own, I don't want to say struggling, Again, I did 6 figures in partnerships, but like, it's harder, So I will take a moment here to invite you to take my training all about the Creator Trifecta is what I call it. It's the 3 streams of revenue. I think anybody running a creator-led business should start exploring, putting roots down on, because this industry is very volatile. It's very up and down. Every year looks different. Every year something different is trending. Like I said, courses, that was an industry-wide thing, partially. I think we're seeing a trust recession, as they call it. I think people are getting burnt out. I think people are craving in-person opportunities again, and so on and so forth. So every year, there are different shifts, and it's important that you have these 3 different levers that you can pull so that you can make money, So I will leave a link to that training totally free down below. But let's go month by month, and I'll sort of share the highs, the lows. I started my year in January in New York City. I've been meeting as a part of a little 3-person mastermind for a couple years, maybe, with 2 of my friends, Shelby and Nina. And I don't know where the idea came from. I really can't remember, but we were like, let's start the year together and workshop our offers and things like that. And I don't really know how we landed on New York. I mean, New York for me, I've been to New York probably a dozen times or so at this point, and it took me a while. I was like a late adopter to loving New York. When I first went, I'm like such a Midwest girly. I'm like, oh, people here are so rude and like it's so dirty and Midwest pride, and probably like my 5th or 6th time, I really truly got it. I'm like, every time I leave New York, I just feel this burst of creativity. It is truly the place where I feel like anything is possible. If you're like, I want to make a vegan, gluten-free fried pickle shop, like you can do it in New York. You can't probably do that anywhere else, but you can do it in New York. And that's really my secret desire in life, you guys, honestly. It does not sound amazing. So anyway, we went to New York. We started the year there. We, just kind of like talked through some things and, ate food. I don't know. Oh, we also saw Wicked on stage, which I'm not a Wicked girly. They are. But it was fun. I love seeing art of any kind. I started the year in Tampa, by the way. I clinked, Happy New Year in Tampa, went home to Detroit, and my divorce was finalized early in January. I think it was finalized like the day of or the day after Inauguration Day. So there was just a lot of change, right? There was like global political change. Then my divorce was finalized. And then I also got dumped on the same day. So it was a lot. That month was a lot. Don't recommend. January was a flop. I mean, the mastermind, I started strong. I started inspired. And then I think the personal stuff like was really overwhelming for me. I think what that caused in me was this need for control and this need for rash change. I was like, okay, I don't really know where my life is heading anymore. I don't really, I don't want to say I don't have purpose. That's a little dramatic, but I just felt like I needed to do something drastically different. I also will say around this time, I remember feeling a lot of stress about the social media industry. Again, there was like political stuff going on there. This is like still like Elon and like X and stuff. Like there was like a lot going on. I was also doing this series last year, What's New in Social, where I was constantly fixating on all these different changes going on in Washington, all these different AI things, all these different Elon Musk things. And I think I was feeling kind of like this moral crisis a little bit about like, is social media good? Is this an industry I still want to be in? That's important to frame, I think, this whole year. And what I will say is I feel very differently today. So if you're somebody who watches me and you're like, I want to be a social media manager, or I want to be, following the path of Latasha, I have not given up. I don't think any of us should give up. I do think that there is good, but I think I had to go through some of the things I went through to get there. So all that to say, I started touring office spaces because I thought, you know what? I have this new fresh start. I maybe don't want to do like social media management, social media marketing. Maybe I can lean more into the podcast and video world and open up this studio. So started touring office spaces. In February, I launched a social media management accelerator cohort. Like I said, it was a very soft launch because January was a very depressed month for me. And I struggled. And I, again, struggled with some of that. Like, do I want to still teach the accelerator? Do I still want to do social media management stuff? So it was very quiet. I think it was the smallest cohort I had, but it was a great cohort. I met some amazing people. And I went to a YouTube event in downtown Detroit. They had it for Galentine's Day. Yeah, it was a fun event. And then I moved into my studio in February. My mom and my nephew came out. It was a really fun weekend. They helped me move a bunch of stuff in, paint walls. And yeah, it's a very beautiful space. I guess I can like do a little break and talk about the studio. I'm so glad that I did it. I don't think it was the answer to all my problems. And I think I knew that. Everybody tells you that. I think we keep hearing, people want in person, like offline is the new online. And I do think people are craving that, but I will say in-person stuff is a completely different beast to online business. And so if you, like myself, have built your business, online, don't think that it is just this super smooth transition and that you can just funnel all of your online people to be in-person customers. I mean, I struggle to get people to come to free events at the studio. Truly, like it's rough and it's not my main focus. It is not like I knew that going into it. But I will say it's a very different type of business. It's a very different type of marketing, but I'm glad I did it. I made this calculation based on, I truly found a beautiful space. The rent is very cheap in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's not much more than I would be paying for a co-working space, and it's my own space. And so I knew that I could afford it. I had the money in the bank. Like I didn't need to make a certain amount of money every month to afford it. Like I could afford it no problem. And yeah, it's been fun for me to be able to invite people, who I'm not like necessarily close enough with to invite to my home, but who I want to meet, who are local to my area or not local. Like my friend Dee came, we'll talk about that, and hung out for a while in the studio. And like, it's been good for me to build community again. And I think that is another reason I wanted to do it again after the divorce and being single for the first time in my adult life. Truly, I was like, I know I need people. I know I need, to not just be like depressed in my house. And I do think that it's been a good move. I signed a 2-year lease, so I'm going to have it for at least another year. And we'll see what happens after that. Okay, March. I did a collaborative webinar with my other friend, Nina. She has a company called Sidewalker Daily. We did like this affiliate webinar, which was a really fun thing. And I think that's something, a little tip for people in online business with courses. It's something to consider. And it's something that I want to host. Basically, she reached out to me because I have an audience that could benefit from her course. And so I invited my audience to her webinar, and we were able to split, the revenue that came in. And so it's a cool model. It's something cool to try. Like I said, if you do courses, I think I'm going to try in the year ahead. So if you have an audience that could benefit from the YouTube Creator Accelerator or the Social Media Management Accelerator, hit me up, and maybe we can do something like that. And then what did I do? March, honestly, the rest of it was a blur. I went to Florida. I saw Bright Eyes in St. Pete. It was one of my most favorite concerts ever with Hooray for the Riff Raff. Totally personal and random. I also had some eye stuff happen. You guys maybe know if you've been around for a while. I have those chronic eye problem. It's MGD. It's gland dysfunction, whatever. It started because of long COVID. It's a whole thing. I've been on the upswing for the past year, but I had kind of a scary thing happen where my doctor thought I might have some vision problems. And so I had to go see a bunch of specialists. Luckily, I do not. I'm good. My eyes are stable. But yeah, so I just had a lot of, again, another kind of personal life thing. And SMMA had wrapped up that cohort, so I think I wanted to take it a little more chill. In April, I tried something new as far as content, in that I batched a bunch of podcast style quickies, as I guess I'll call them, just quick answers to questions that I get. And I kind of forgot that I did that, and I'm like, I need to do that more. They performed decently well. And I think sometimes for that filler content, it's for this type of content, the Friday podcasts and the vlogs, obviously, those are meaty, and I have the content for them. But it's when I want to post a video in between, I forget. And then also shorts, I need to really get better about those shorter pieces of content. So we'll see. Okay, April was also a big month in that we went to Austin, Texas, to do an interview for the documentary that I was/am working on, ? I got to give you guys an update on that. I had some questions in my YouTube comments about it, and I addressed it there. But okay, so first of all, Austin, so much fun. My first time in Austin, we interviewed Leah, who is awesome and was the perfect, person to interview for our first interview. So welcoming, so fun. We ate so much good vegan food. It was a great trip, and I loved the vlog that I did. But I do have to give the update on the documentary. Honestly, I was not prepared for the financial year that I had. And again, I think a lot of it was greater trends, in things that were outside of my control. I think the economy truly, people are tighter with their spending than really any other time since I've been in business full time, at least that I can remember. And I am completely self-funding the documentary at this point. And so, yes, again, I still could have afforded it. I could have dug into my savings and things, but I just wanted to be a little smarter and think things through. I think the other thing, let me finish that thought. It's not over. It's just I am looking into different funding options for it. The other challenge that I ran into with the documentary is a lot of people who initially signed on to be a part of the documentary, quit their businesses, completely changed direction of their businesses. Because again, I guess this year was just challenging for everybody. And part of me is well, maybe that's just a part of the story that we need to be capturing. But I think I need to do some thinking. Things have really, really changed drastically. I think we are in this time where with AI, with all of the things, everything is just moving around a little bit. So I think I wanted to maybe let things settle for a bit of time to see where people landed, on the other side of this year before we keep doing more interviews. And then I also launched another cohort of SMMA in April. May was another mostly off month for me. Yeah, I don't know what I did in May. I mean, obviously throughout all of these months, I'm posting content every month. We know that, but I took the month pretty much 100% off. And I went to Disney World for the first time for my birthday. I turned 34. Yeah. I was like, wait, am I 34 or 35? Yes, I turned 34, went to Disney, truly had the time of my life. It was such a special, sweet trip. And it was great. And then I also saw a psychic for the first time in my life, which I know not everybody cares about. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that like everything she said came true. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, in June, I went back to New York again for the Build Expo, which is a conference that B&H Photo put on. I was asked to speak there. I did a talk on, I don't remember what my talk was called, but it was all about content creation and how content creators can make money from their content. It was one of my favorite speaking gigs ever because it truly was like such an aligned audience. It was an audience of photographers, videographers, filmmakers who wanted to know like, different funding sources and how to make money. And I love talking creator stuff. I think that really like sparked this idea for the YouTube Creator Accelerator, which I'll again talk about later, of like, that's really what I want to be teaching. Like, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love teaching people how to build their social media businesses because I did it for a long time. I know it very well. I know I can help people. I see it every day in my students, but like where I feel really passionate and where I feel really like, oh my gosh, I love what I do is talking about YouTube. And honestly, YouTube is like how I built my social media management business because that's where the majority of my leads and clients come from. And so I feel very passionately about it. Okay, that event was also really special for a couple of reasons. I met so many amazing people. I met two amazing like members of this community / friends, Sam and Diane. We had such a good time. Personally, like I just feel like I made like lifelong friends, And then I also met another person who I love so much, but she was new to me. She was sitting in the audience and she actually, I won't say her name just because I don't know if she wants me to, but she actually signed on for a coaching package after that event. And that was the first time I think I'd ever signed a coaching client from a speaking event. Like I'll get people buy courses or reach out to me about services, but I think that was really special because I think coaching is something that's kind of requires so much trust and is so sort of, for lack of better words, intimate. You're going to be talking, revealing all your secrets and fears and everything. And it just proved to me like speaking gigs can help me build that side of my business too. And she's just such an amazing, talented person. And of course, New York was fun again in the summertime. I also, then after that, I went down to Tampa to film a video for a client. It's a coaching duo. They do like executive coaching for companies. I got this lead from a friend down there in Tampa. I rented a studio and it was a really fun shoot. Like I think it turned out really well. It's a project that I'm really proud of and they were really happy with the final result. In July, back to Michigan. And yeah, I started working with that coaching client that I signed on from Build. My friend Dee came to visit. I met Dee and his wife in May when I went to Disney for my birthday. And we were like just tossing around the idea. He was back in the States. He lives most of the time over in Europe. And I was like, yeah, like if you make it to Detroit, you should come by the studio. And he made it to Detroit. And so we had such a good time. We did an interview and we also did a vlog. Like both things were very fun. And it's a very good time. And it was very needed because I was also going through a lot in my personal life at that time. And so it was good to have sort of a distraction. And then I went to New York again. Yeah, in July, I went to New York again. That's where I went to the Shop Social Summit at Google. I also met my friend Elena, who has been a social media management accelerator student, who's been a coaching client and is now a friend and collaborator. We might be working on something together in 2026. Stay tuned. So that was like a busy July, I guess. August, I got my first studio booking. You can't like go to like purespace.com or anything and book my studio. That's never been the model that I wanted for it. But I did have just somebody who is like a friend, an associate, if you will, who reached out and asked if she could use it. And that's kind of how I've been letting people use it, is like if you're already a client, if you're somebody that I know and trust, like I kind of let people rent it, but I'm not I don't think I want to open it up just like to the public. So anyway, I got my first one of those, which was really awesome. And then I went on a cruise, which was really cool because and kind of hilarious because my first ever like time somebody was alone in my studio was also I was stepping foot on a cruise ship in Europe that day. So I went on this cruise with my friend Shelby. We started in England, in London, Southampton, and then we went to Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland, back to England. Yeah. So I was literally across the world and I was making money in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which was kind of like a cool experience. The cruise was great. I did get sick. So, like, the back half of it wasn't so great, but it was, again, a fun experience. And I loved Ireland so much. I loved Liverpool so much. And then when I got back, I did a photo shoot with Michelle Lippert, who's a local photographer. And I loved how things turned out. She shot photos in my studio. So that was really fun. And I think she's so talented and can't wait to work with her again. In September, I flew to Atlanta. So again, on the cruise ship, I was on the cruise ship for a long time, by the way. It was like 12 days or something on a boat, 14 days, give or take, across the pond. So a lot happened. But one of the things that happened was I got a call from Metricool or an email from Metricool saying, they asking me if I wanted to go to Atlanta for this event. So it's called the Reelies. And it's hosted by a company called Your Social Team. And it's basically an awards show for short form video creators, which is really fun. Metricool was sponsoring that event and they asked me if I could go present the award. Honestly, dream. Like such a highlight of my year. I love stuff like that. I love hosting panels. I love presenting awards. I love interviewing people. Like I like being the star of the show too, I guess. And I understand sometimes I need to do that for the benefit of my business. But like I really love letting other people be the star and being like, you know, a little sidekick. I don't know what that is about me, but I just think it's really fun. It's like a lot less pressure. Like I don't have to go up there and give a speech. I don't have to even accept the award the right way. I'm just there to like make other people look good. It was so much fun. And I also got to meet one of my longtime students, friends, viewers, Dahab, who we had such a good time in Atlanta, which is a city I love as well. Okay, then I did a webinar. It was called the Q4 Kickoff. I was like in September, I was like, I got to get it together. Like, I got to get my life together. I got to save my business because what the heck have I been doing this year? Even though writing it all down, I did a lot, I do feel like I said, there were small little baby launches. They were like taking a month off for my birthday, more or less. I mean, again, I was posting YouTube videos, but like, you know, I was just like my head was not in the game. So I was like, I got to get together and do this Q4 webinar. I think that's when I sort of pre-sold the YouTube Creator Accelerator, if I'm not mistaken. I also started a songwriting course at Interlochen, a music school here in Michigan, virtually, but that was just kind of like a fun little side quest. October, I did another SMMA cohort, again, small little baby launch. And I also did the course launch for the YouTube Creator Accelerator. So this was basically, I wanted to take the model of the social media management accelerator and apply that to YouTube. People who want to start YouTube channels, the goal is in 5 weeks. We'll go through everything you need to know to post your first video, or if you're an existing creator, to like map out your month ahead. That was the goal. That was the promise. And it's, like I said, been something I've wanted to do for a long time. I also had a coaching. I had like random little coaching calls throughout the month, but I started booking a lot of them towards the end of the year, I noticed. So just something to keep in mind. Like I think people start to see their budget, you know, want to spend end of year budget or just kind of get ideas, start thinking new year, like in Q4. And I got one that was, I just wanted to share the story with you guys because he was a really successful business owner. He was a dream to work with. And he was like, do you want to know how I found you? I interviewed like a social media manager via Upwork. I found them via Upwork and they had your video linked on their profile. And I at first like thought you were the person. And I was like, oh wow, she's on Upwork. And then he realized like they were just like linking to something like a video that I did to like share like how important social media was or something. I don't know. I just thought that was like really funny and quite interesting. It's like, again, YouTube is so valuable. Like people can be sharing your stuff on Upwork and, you know, like I don't know. It was just an interesting kind of like digital word of mouth little anecdote. In November, I started another songwriting course with Greta Morgan. And then I went to the Gathering in DC, which I vlogged about. Amy Nelson, who is the founder of The Riveter, she hosted this event for 100 women in media, podcasting, newsletters. It was invite only. It was such an amazing event, one of the best events I've ever been to. It was also fun to go back to DC because I lived there for a time. And then I this was like a month of events for me, November. I also went to Creator Con Detroit. It was my first time going. I sat on a panel for that, which was amazing. And I also did a volunteer event with Cass Community Services. I vlogged that all. So yeah. And then I did my Black Friday and Cyber Monday offers, which I did like a week of offers. I did this last year as well, where I, instead of just saying like 50% off everything, I mean, I think I did do that, like 50% off courses, but I also sent an email every day, basically like that week, or like starting on Thanksgiving or something, or the day before Thanksgiving, all the way through to Cyber Monday. And I did a different product spotlight every day. Everything from coaching bundles, course bundles, done for you, like whatever. Like I just discounted everything, which I don't always do, but I was like, again, let's save my business. And coaching was the biggest seller by far. People were so excited. I did 50% off coaching calls, so they're like $175. I booked so many, and it was really fun. And it made me realize two things. One, that I love doing them. I mean, I've always known that, but two, that people really want them. And again, I think I've always felt a bit of imposter syndrome, just like the YouTube thing for some reason about coaching, because I think there's like such a bad rep in the online business world, like, oh, all coaches are scammers and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, I think there are some that are, but like clearly people find value in this. I mean, what was also cool is I booked a lot of returning coaching clients. So I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not a scammer if people are coming back. And then I also, when I was fulfilling these orders in November and December, I had probably half of the people, seriously, say, can I book another one? Send me the link. Or can I reach back out in 3 months? Like, so there's proof that it works and that it's valuable. And so that's something I'm learning for the year ahead. December, I did a speaking event virtual with Metricool called Unfiltered. I talked about comfort creators. I also signed 2 big contracts with big tech companies for partnership deals for 2026, which gives me a hint of optimism about the year ahead. This year has been a struggle. It's been a grind, but I am seeing things turning a little bit, like just from the amount of interest that I'm getting, like the amount of leads that I'm getting, people asking questions, both about courses, about coaching, about brand partnerships, about done for you services. There's just been an uptick for me recently, more than even comparing year over year. I just think maybe people were a little cautious with their spending for some reason in 2025, and maybe are ready to invest again in 2026. And also they're really exciting brands and products. So I can't wait to work on those projects. And then, like I said, I did that coaching sprint. So I basically had like 2 days of like back-to-back coaching calls from the Black Friday sales, which was so fun. Like it's such a good way to just connect with people one-on-one. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I've been talking so long, but I want to do a quick in and outs for 2026. We're going to start with the things that are out. Don't lose steam after winter break. I'm about to go take winter break again in Florida, but I need to come back ready to work and not like sad girl, like whatever. I honestly think, like, just to go to the personal stuff a little bit, I know that's not what everyone is here for, but like, I actually think I started to resent work a little bit because of my divorce. Like, in a weird way, I've been doing a lot of thinking and processing on this over the year. And in a lot of ways, this is like not necessarily rational. And it's not something, again, I'm never saying anything bad about my ex-husband, even though some people will try to like leave weird comments and say that I am. I'm never saying that. This is all self-inflicted, I think, for the most part. But like, I think I kind of felt like if I wasn't so ambitious in my career, I would still be married. I would be able to have normal, like healthy romantic relationships. I feel somewhat like my work and my ambition is a barrier to that from two different angles. Either, yes, like I'm so busy and I like am married to my work and sometimes maybe neglected my relationships. But also on the other hand, especially like as I'm in the dating world, it's like kind of shocking how easily intimidated men are. Some men are by like a woman who doesn't need them financially. And I know that sounds really terrible, and we could probably do a whole episode on that. But I do sometimes feel like a little resentful of my success, which is not good. And I think that's something I'm working on. But yeah, I think I kind of self-sabotaged, is what I'm trying to say. I think I was like, I need to be less good at what I do so that I can, feel love again. And that's horrible. We're not doing that. Is out. That is out for 2026. I need to cut down on masterminds and free networking. When I looked at my calendar, went through month by month, so many of my calls were like not paid. And I'm sorry. I love everybody. I love masterminds. I love talking to people, but I spent a lot of time solving other people's problems. And I don't think that I got a lot of my problems solved in exchange. I'm sorry if that sounds negative. Of course, there are a couple of groups and people and whatever that like I really value our connections. But I think I also just said yes to a lot of people who honestly should have just been booking a coaching call with me or joining like a course. Cohorts, I think there is so much value in courses being like interactive and having this group environment. But something that I'm thinking, especially for the YouTube course, is I think the 5-week sprint is great to like get you launched. But now I'm like, okay, but we still need support after. We still need to cheer each other on. So I'm kind of thinking like, is it going to be a membership model next year where it's you get a year of support versus 5 weeks of support? I also think when people are shopping and they're thinking value first, like, I don't know, doesn't that sound better getting a year of support versus 5 weeks? I don't know. That's something that I'm kind of going to be thinking on over my winter break. But I do think having ongoing calls and this ongoing community versus just like a 5-week sprint might be the vibe. We'll see. I already talked about talent management. I think nobody can sell yourself as good as you. I did a whole episode on my other podcast, Content Creator Confessions, about that experience if you want to learn more about it. But for me right now, I think I'm just going to keep things in-house. Also out for 2026, though, is doing everything alone. I am going to hire again. Yes, I did everything alone. I don't think I hired many people this year, like many contractors, and I definitely didn't have anybody ongoing. And definitely when it comes to launch support and like operations, I need to hire somebody because I love teaching. I love fulfilling the work. But when it came to like actually selling and getting things set up, I dropped the ball and I left a lot of money on the table. Okay, in for 2026, one-on-one coaching. I want to do more one-on-one coaching. I want to make it more accessible. I want to make it more obvious. Right now, it's kind of like a little secret thing almost. Like you really have to dig to find it and to book it. And I love it. It's what makes me happy. I'm also going back to school. That happens. Like I made the decision to go to school for mental health therapy and coaching. I'm going to get a master's degree in psychology. I don't know. But yeah, I do want to do coaching in some format. I think whether it's business coaching, mental health coaching, life coaching, I think that is like my career, like what I see myself doing for the next 20 years, maybe 10. I don't know. I want to retire at like 45 or 50 if I'm being honest. I'm going to try to make that happen. But anyway, I'm going to do more one-on-one coaching. YouTube Creator Accelerator, I already talked about that. I really want to do webinars. I think really do work still for selling. This is again where I think I need an operations person or a launch strategist or somebody to be able to like go in and set up a webinar for me once a month so I can just show up with my slides because I think I need to be doing monthly webinars. Email offer sprints, I think that really worked. And I think I'm going to try it again for the new year, like maybe January, like new year, new you, like here, like let's highlight 5 different offers, just like it did for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and do little discounts, just kind of like keep things top of mind because a lot of people just don't even know what you offer or what I offer, especially because I offer so many things, which like I definitely shouldn't be doing necessarily, but whatever it is who I am. And so like highlighting what you're available for, I think is really nice. And then lastly, experiential brand collabs. I really loved the work that I did with Metrical. I'm so proud of it. The fact that I did the reelies with them. I did speaking events. I did webinars. I did workshops. I did podcast reads. Like I did a lot of different things. And I think that is a key to a successful brand partnership. And I also loved that I got out of the house. I'm doing a speaking gig for them in January too in Orlando, Podfest. I'll be speaking. So I love stuff like that. That's like truly meaningful. I really feel like a part of their team. I can't even remember some of the other brands I worked with, no offense. Yeah, I've done like different like I've done a lot of UGC for other brands this year. Just things that are just beyond like your typical podcast read. I traveled to 6 states plus Michigan, New York, Florida, Texas, DC, Georgia, and North Carolina. North Carolina was for fun. I went with a man to a video game thing. But it was fun to go. It was a fun experience. And then lastly, you guys, this episode's so long. I'm sorry. I think the biggest lesson that I learned is maybe not so business related, but maybe a little business related. I would say it's just that love is all around. Truly, it was like, it was my divorce year, my first year in life really being mostly single. Like, I mean, I dated here and there, but like I was mostly single. And I would think, oh, it's like a lonely year. It was not lonely. You guys, this year, actually, I felt a little overwhelmed by people. I had so many people around me, like work, personal, friends, everything. Like, I don't know. I think there are so many different ways to feel loved and to feel appreciated and to love and appreciate. And I think this was a big lesson I needed to learn personally this year, was just that, like, yeah, it's all around if you open yourself up to it. Like, it doesn't have to take this traditional format that you have been so used to for the past, 20 years of your life. I think I really also, living alone for the first time, I think it really made me realize just how much I appreciate my job, because if I'm having a day where I'm like, ugh, like I'm just not feeling it. I'm kind of like wake up sort of depressed. I feel sort of lonely. And then I get on a coaching call and I talk to somebody and I'm like, oh, I feel like better now. I feel like I have purpose again. It's like we need each other. Humans need each other. And I'm just really grateful to be able to do a job that allows me to connect with so many people, and help so many people, and to be able to meet so many friends. Like all of the friends that I hung out with pretty much this year, I met on the internet. So it's a really beautiful thing. So love is all around. That's my biggest lesson and learning, and something I will definitely be taking into 2026. All right, this episode was way too long. I thank you for sticking with me. Please let me know how your 2025 was, any goals you have for 2026 down in the comments, and I'll leave a link for that class all about making money online, social media money, and my Creator Trifecta that I recommend you all investigate. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you so, so much, and I will see you next year. I don't know if I have a video coming up in between next year or next week. We'll see. But yeah, I really appreciate you. Bye.